Let me talk to you about health care.
Sure.
Is it feasible to go to a national health care type of system?
Every ally of ours, every other country in the industrialized world, all the G8, have some kind of national baseline health care. We have between Medicare, which is about 40% of the health care delivered in this country, and the VA, which is close to 10%, veterans health care, we're almost up to 50% already of health services being delivered through government programs. So it's in the other half that the really crazy stuff happens, like people losing their job and losing their health insurance with it, or people getting sick and all of a sudden the insurance company drops them because it's too expensive and they're no longer a good risk.
Recently in a debate, Senator Obama said all the people in the country should have the same health care as him and Senator McCain.
I agree.
But that's the Cadillac of healthcare. It's never going to happen.
Cadillac of healthcare.
They're not even into the Social Security system, no less the normal
they
healthcare
are in the
system
Social
we
Security
get.
system, and so am I.
Okay. And it's just impossible to make a statement like that. Now, let me just ask you one thing, and
Blue Cross.
Good man.
This is what I have. It's not a different health care plan. What we have is a bigger pool to buy in and get a better rate. And I believe that all American citizens, if they can't get health care, or if they don't like the rate they have to pay, should have the option to buy the same plan that we as members of Congress have.
And I appreciate you showing us that. I do. Just hold on one second. I want to get to him, but just tell me quickly. It's the same old thing we've asked before. You can't get the doctors you want. You can't get the care you want. You can't decide what kind of care you want. And people will feel like, it's great, it sounds great, but my care is going to be worse.
Isn't it the same way now with HMOs? You mean you got a list of doctors from the HMO, and it's not frequently the doctor you want. I call my doctor, and I have to wait 3 months to get an appointment, and then you frequently wind up, if you have the flu or a tick bite or a broken arm, you go to the ER, and we have ration care de facto in this country.
You for universal health care? And if not, what kind of health care would you like that would try to address this in a better way?
I'm certainly for universal health care. I'd like to see everybody get it. I'm not for the federal government delivering it as they do in Europe. Those European countries accept 10, 12, 15% unemployment. Part of the reason is because the taxes are so high. We would never accept that. We don't accept 6% unemployment. Nationalized health care would be a nightmare for this country, be a nightmare for my family. I'll give you a perfect example. My little girl's ailment, her heart condition, is hypoplastic left heart syndrome. Now, in England, 350 children a year are born with that ailment. Only 50 get the surgery because of rationing. Our country has major flaws in its healthcare system, but some parts are good, and we should hang on to the good parts, get rid of the bad parts, do everything we can to shift the balance of power from the insurance companies, use the tax code to take the power out of the insurance companies' hands and put it in the hands of patients and parents.
10 seconds. What are the good parts and what are the bad parts? Just
the care in the United States is excellent. The innovation in medical technology is driven by the United States. A socialized system, we'd lose that innovation. The world would lose that innovation.
I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the social issues that people in the 19th Congressional District are interested in, the issue of abortion, gay rights, things of that nature. Where do you stand on the issue of abortion? Obviously, right now it's the law of the land, and you can't overturn it. What would you do as a congressman? Where do you stand on that? I just want to get you on record.
Yeah, I'm pro-life. But I'll tell you, I've talked to probably 50,000 people on this campaign, and very few people ask me about social issues. I think social issues are sometimes a luxury for times of peace and prosperity. But I'm pro-life, but it's not something that when I knock on somebody's door, they bring up.
Okay, go ahead. How about you, Congressman?
I think we should have as few abortions as possible in this country, and the way to achieve that, among other things, is to have better sex education, better relationship and maturity education, make contraceptives available and emergency contraception available, and that a woman's right to choose her reproductive options should be between her and her faith and her doctor.
And recently in California, the California Supreme Court overruled a vote that had taken place that said that marriage was between a man and a woman. Of course, they overruled it. There's been a number of marriages right now in California. Proposition 8 is on in California right now. They're voting again. If that came to New York, because it just came, Connecticut just ruled the same thing. They're allowing gay marriages in Connecticut. Governor Patterson moved a little bit in state workers to allow the same type of rights and benefits. Is that something you would support if that came into New York, that marriage between a man and a man or a woman and a woman would be something that you would support?
I'm for states' right to make this decision, and I'm, as Mr. Lalor said before, of the opinion that we have much bigger issues that are staring us in the face, and that we need to deal with those. My first wife and I, after many years together, separated and divorced, and I can tell you that it was not the fault of any gay people that I knew. We
So-
did a bad job ourselves. So heterosexual, the whole Protection of Marriage Act thing was really a misnomer. That
So-
I think that
I got you. So you would support it if the state, you would support
That's correct.
marriage. Okay, and how about you on this issue?
Yeah, I don't like the idea of judges making law, and that's what's happening in Connecticut. It's happening in California. The majority position in this country, in this state, and in this district is support for traditional marriage, and I too support traditional marriage.
So quickly, if there's a Democratic House, Democratic Senate, Democratic President, and it starts to move in, let's say, very liberal directions, and you have a 19th congressional district, which is pretty much moderate, you've worked hard in it, people have said that, how would you stand up for the people in the 19th?
Well, I've stood up for the people in the 19th by trying to bring their tax dollars back here to work for them. We give more money to the federal government in our taxes than we get back. We're what's called a donor state. And I've worked very hard through the appropriations process to try to bring back money, be it for Highland Falls School District or for weather recognition and high technology equipment at Stewart Air Base, or to repave Cortland, Route 6 in Cortland, or fix Camp Smith, the buildings that are falling down over there. These are things that are real projects that hire people in this district and that bring our tax dollars back.
20 seconds. What are you going to do for the 19th congressional if you get in there?
I'm going to give the middle class a real voice of someone from their ranks. We haven't had that in a long time. Congress is a millionaires club. It's a place for elites. Sending a true working class, middle class guy to Congress would be a monumental shift.
We flipped a coin, and Congressman Hall is going to go first and speak to you why he would like you to re-elect him in November. Congressman Hall, speak right to the people.
Sure. Well, I've tried in these last 2 years to be the most accessible, available, and hardworking congressman this district could have. I've had meetings in all 43 of the towns and cities I represent in the 19th district, the 5 counties in the 19th, each year in 2007 and again 2008, and stood there until every last person who wanted to speak to me could come up and speak to me. I've heard people say, I've never been actually able to talk to my congressman before, and I've worked everything from legislation to invest in renewable energy and to improve the fuel mileage of our automobiles, to helping veterans get their benefits faster, and helping to solve problems with Social Security, with visa and passport problems, and helping people work their way through the system. I think it's important for us to have a representative who gives every hour of every day as much as possible to the job, and I look forward to and ask for your support for another 2 years to represent you.
Mr. Lalor, right to the camera, please.
My campaign stands for the proposition that a regular guy with no political connections can, through hard work and by inspiring others, run a successful congressional campaign. For the first year of this campaign, I worked a union job from midnight to 8, the same union job that put me through law school. When I got home from work at 8 in the morning, my wife would go to work. I'd take care of my 2 small daughters. When my wife got home, I'd campaign in the evenings, come home, grab a couple hours of sleep at 9 or 10 o'clock, and do it all over again the next day. I think people go into the voting booth and they ask themselves 2 questions. Who understands my life? Who understands my struggle to take care of my family and accomplish my goals? And who do I trust to represent me in Washington? Well, the people of the Hudson Valley have trusted me to defend this nation on foreign shores. They've trusted me to teach their children. American institutions like the NYPD, the FDNY, and the VFW have trusted me with their endorsement. And the people of the Hudson Valley, especially the good, solid, middle-class people, can trust me to relentlessly and faithfully represent them in Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Lalor. I want to thank both of you for being here. Look, you're going to have a lot of debates. The people that are going to have a lot of debates, go to the papers as they do their editorial boards with them. You're going to have other debates on other stations. You see them face to face. It's a big election coming up in November. Congressman John Hall, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Mr. Lalor, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir.
I want to thank all of you for joining us. I'm Terrence Mikas. For everybody here at Meet the Leaders, as always, you have a good night. Hold on.